Hey everyone, and welcome to Weight Loss Wednesday. I'm Chef AJ, the author of The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss, Own Your Health, and the 10th anniversary edition of Unprocessed, and this is where I show you recipes for healthy, permanent, and sustainable weight loss. So today I'm going to be demonstrating another 2-ingredient recipe from my book, the 10th anniversary edition of Unprocessed, that you can find on page 144, the Basic Healthy Pie Crust. Now, what's different about the 10th anniversary edition of Unprocessed, in addition to having 30 new recipes, a new foreword by Dr. John McDougall, and beautiful color photos by Hannah Kaminsky, is I took the recipes that were high in fat and I gave you options to make them lower in fat. And this is what I'm going to do in this pie crust recipe. The original recipe called for 2 cups of walnuts and 2 cups of dates. Well, we're still going to use the 2 cups of dates, but instead of using 2 cups of walnuts, we're going to use 2 cups of gluten-free rolled oats. Oats are much lower in caloric density than walnuts and much lower in fat, and it's a great substitute if you're trying to do that in your diet, and they taste absolutely delicious, and they work great in this recipe. What's nice about this pie crust is that it just takes minutes to put together. You know, traditional pie crust is you got to roll out and use chilled butter and flour and salt and sugar. You can make this in no time, so if company shows up by surprise, you can have a pie ready in minutes. So we're going to take the 2 cups of oats and put them in the food processor fitted with the S blade, and we are going to just grind it into a flour-like consistency. Now, you don't need to grind it all the way to flour. You could use oat flour, but it's going to be much more finely ground. It's also going to be more expensive. And I like to have a little bit of texture in my crust. And then I'm going to add my pitted dates. I'm using organic medjool dates from Costco because that's the best price that I can find. And now I'm going to process it again until a ball starts to form. I'm going to run it a little bit more, okay? Just a little more. So you want to run this until the food processor starts slowing down, and you know it's ready because if you grab some of the dough and you can make it into a little ball and then you try to break it in half, I call this the break point, and it doesn't crumble, you know it's ready. I call this the basic healthy pie crust because this is the basic recipe. It's 2 cups of something, meaning your favorite nut or seed, or in this case oats, and 2 cups of your favorite dried fruit. I like using dates because I think they're the most neutral, but other dried fruits could work. It would just be a different flavor profile. And you can eat this crust raw, or you could bake it. I'm going to use it as a raw dessert using a tart pan, which I like because the bottom will come up. And then you just gently press it around until it's covered completely. You could use a Pyrex pan as well. And just want to work the sides up to get that nice little fluted edge. Be good if I had a little water source nearby. Using wet hands can really help. And this tastes delicious without any additives to it. Now, you can flavor this. For example, you could put cocoa powder in, a couple tablespoons, or carob powder. You could put the zest of a lemon, lime, or orange to flavor the crust, or even a couple tablespoons of lemon juice, lime juice, or orange juice. Basically what I'm doing is making something that you might have seen in stores called a Larabar, and that's what I'm doing, but I'm using oats in replacement for the high-fat nuts. No, oats have a pretty good amount of fat compared to other grains like rice, which is 1% fat. Oats are almost 20% fat, so they work really well in desserts. So you just want to push it around. And really, I have done this at the last minute when company came and just made a pie like this. And what you can use on it are fruit. You can really just slice up some fresh fruits and season peaches or put berries on it, and you have a pie in mere minutes. So you just want to work it around. Get the kids to help. They like doing things like this. And again, this is a pretty big pie tin, probably pie tart pan. The one inch smaller would have probably worked a little bit better with the amount of batter or dough. If you've ever made a pie crust from scratch, I did back in the day, boy, that's labor intensive. You got to have that ice water there and all the butter or Crisco shortening and very high in fat, sugar, salt, and flour. Or you could just make a basic healthy pie crust with 2 ingredients that will taste absolutely delicious and nutritious as well. I'll keep working on that after I say goodbye to you. I really do need to wet my hands. Whoa, but I'm tethered there. You can see how this works. You just press it up. So thank you so much for watching another episode of Weight Loss Wednesday. I'm Chef AJ, and I truly believe you can have both the health and the body you so richly deserve. Take care.